loves, welcome back to my channel. Over the past few weeks, I have just had this incredibly strong and potent impulse to go to Italy. Just hop on a plane and go to Positano. It's been springtime in Glasgow and the sun just hits different here and it makes you feel like you're on vacation all the time. Plus, I've had some more time to work on my work in progress, the novel that I've been writing, which draws pretty heavily on my Italian-American background and upbringing. And most recently, I was involved in an Instagram live for the University of Glasgow because I do some social media work for the school. And one of our commenters just asked everyone on the live to say the word Italia, which I don't know if that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Unfortunately, I am not in a position right now to take myself to Italy, but that doesn't mean that I can't bring Italy to me in some capacity. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing this weekend in a brand new vlog. I am attempting to bring Italy to Glasgow, just a little bit. I'm gonna spend some time working on my novel, which again is pretty heavily influenced by my Italian-American heritage. Gonna make some Italian food, listen to some Italian music, and I have a book. I have a book to read. And that is One Italian Summer by Rebecca Cyril. Cyril? She wrote in 5 years. One Italian Summer follows a young woman named Katie whose mother has just passed away, and sort of as part of her grieving process, Katie decides to go on this trip to Positano that she and her mother had been planning together, and when she gets there, she finds that there's been some sort of like time slip and she's actually now meeting her mother at 30 years old in Positano. So she gets to spend one last summer with her mom in Italy, and I have been so looking forward to reading this. Just from the synopsis alone, it seems to have a lot of similar themes to my current work in progress, so I'm hoping to maybe, I don't know, draw some inspiration from this. Really looking forward to jumping into this. I can't guarantee that I'm gonna finish the whole thing this weekend. I do have a few other things that I actually do have to do outside of this vlog, plus a lot of stuff that I want to do within the vlog. And on top of that, it's just been a really long time since I've just sat and read something physically, so I don't know that I'll actually be able to finish this weekend, but I will definitely finish it within this vlog. Even if it's not like within the next 2 days, I will check in at the end of the vlog once I finish this book to tell you my final thoughts. But I'm just gonna go get started. I'm so stoked. Okay, so I am 3 chapters in to One Italian Summer. I've just finished chapter 3, and it's making me a bit more emotional than I had anticipated so early on. I mean, I figured it would probably hit home a little bit because it's, you know, the mother-daughter relationship, and I'm living on the other side of the world from my mom right now, and I miss her a lot. Cool. Ooh. That was almost tears that just happened. Okay. So we're gonna take a little break from this book, and I'm actually gonna go out to try and get some writing done in my current work in progress, because fun fact about me, I live in what may well be the actual coldest flat in the world. It's so cold here. I'm absolutely freezing. So I'm gonna go out. We'll probably be sweating by the time I find a cafe, but that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a cafe, we're looking for coffee, we're looking for a place to sit and write for a little while.
One's too long, we don't even get along, but the world just fell apart straight out of the blue. So in my mind I whisper ciao, and I take myself to Tuscany, Italy, riding on a Vespa in a sunflower field. Yeah, warm wind blowing and birds are singing in cypress trees. Tuscany, Italy, eating carbonara and reading Machiavelli while the world ends. That's where I will be.
So I I am home now. Unfortunately, none of the Italian cafes, delis, bakeries near me are, you know, all that well suited to just sitting and working for a little while, so I did end up going to a non-Italian cafe. But there's an Italian deli near me. I did stop and get myself, where did I put it? Got myself a little sweet treat, so I'm gonna enjoy that while I do some more reading here on my front stoop, and then I'll go inside and make some dinner. I think I want to do fresh pasta. I want to make pasta. I haven't made pasta in so long. Like fresh, like hand roll. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But first, more of this.
This morning, make the mistake of turning on the TV. Nothing but bad news, empty avenues rolling on the screen. Oh, walk to the kitchen and make myself a cup of coffee. Wave at the older man, getting a suntan on his balcony. Oh, yeah, we both have been stuck in our apartments for 2 months too long. We don't even get along, but the world just fell apart.
Holy hell, that's incredible. That is so good.
Tuscany, Italy, riding on a Vespa in a sunflower field. Yeah, warm wind blowing and birds are singing in cypress trees. Tuscany, Italy, eating carbonara and reading Machiavelli while the world ends. That's where I will be.
Hello, we're in my kitchen. I have just come inside. I spent maybe a little bit longer than I intended to out in the sun reading. I was out there for a few hours because it's just so gorgeous. I swear to you, I swear, when the sun comes out in Glasgow, in Scotland, I don't know why, but it's better and it's warmer and today is like, what's the temperature? What is it right now? Oh, yes. What is the weather right now? It is 59 degrees Fahrenheit. It's 15 degrees Celsius for my Celsius babies out there. And I shit you not, it feels like 80. Like I had to come in and change to then go back outside. I had to come in and change into something even lighter than my little skirt and my little like nothing sweater because I was boiling out there. But I'm back inside now and I'm about to make some fresh pasta. I've gotten changed again, as you can see, because while it is lovely and gorgeous and warm outside, in here it is cold still. And also I'm gonna be working with flour and I don't want to get flour all over something nice that I was wearing today. That's not what I'm looking for. There we go. Gonna make my pasta. I'm not like super hungry right now. I had myself a little sfogliatelle earlier with pistachio cream. Oh my word. I mean, did you hear the crunch? Did you hear that crunch? It was unreal. And like normally something that small wouldn't fill me up, you know? I don't know why I'm not hungry. I'm usually very hungry at this hour of the day. But for whatever reason, I'm not right now. But I'm gonna make my pasta anyway. I don't have any tomatoes or anything for a proper sauce. So I'm thinking for tonight, I'll make enough for today and tomorrow. And then for tonight, I will do like a spinach, mushroom, lemon type something. And then I'm doing my big shop tomorrow, so I will just pick up what I need for sauce tomorrow. But for now, I got my flour, got my eggs in the cabinet, and I'm gonna get to making pasta. I can't do it leaned over like this, which means I can't talk to the, oh shoot, I was gonna tell you about the book. Hello. Let's see if I can fix this Okay, is this good? Is this all right? Is this good? I'm gonna hope that this is okay. So, I have just reached chapter 10 in One Italian Summer. Enjoying it, very much enjoying the book. Katie has reached Italy. She's in Italy now and she's found her mother, her 30-year-old mother who doesn't know that she's her mother. And why would she? Because, you know, you're 30 years old and just hanging out in Italy and then you meet another 30-year-old woman. You wouldn't expect to be that 30-year-old woman's mother, would you? So she's met her mother and it's going well. There are a couple of things that are standing out to me right now as like less than ideal. The first being that like she's meant to be making friends with her mom at this point, but Katie has no personality, and I mean that in the nicest way. There's nothing about Katie that seems interesting enough that this young version of her mom would want to hang out with her. I feel like that sounds mean. Like, her whole personality right now is that she is grieving, which is completely acceptable and expected at this point in character development, but I don't know, there's nothing about her that I would expect to make Carol want to hang out with her. There's also been some like jumping around in Katie's mind, because we're seeing this all from Katie's perspective. So we're like in the moment with Katie, hanging out with her young mom, and then we're taken on like a 2-sentence flashback in Katie's life where she was hanging out with her mom as her mom. And then sometimes there are multiple flashbacks happening at once and like jumping back and forth in the same scene, so it's been a little bit difficult to follow. But in terms of the story as a whole, I am enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of this connection between Katie and Carol. But for now, I'm going to throw on some Italian music and get to my pasta. That just took far longer than anticipated. I am really earning my dinner tonight. It is now 8:30. I started making that pasta at 5. I've just spent the past 3 hours kneading dough. This is why I don't make fresh pasta on the regular. Anyway, dough is finally ready to be rolled out, so I'm gonna make myself some quick pasta 3 hours later. Ooh, this is a full cup of coffee. Oh, don't spill. Don't spill. Good job. Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday. I'm sorry I didn't check in with you again last night. It just took a little while to roll out the pasta dough and actually make my dinner. So by the time I was done eating, it was quite late, and I knew I had to be up early this morning, so I did not do any more reading in One Italian Summer. I did have a lovely long phone call while I was making the dough. I don't think I mentioned that yesterday. I had myself a lovely phone call, but then I basically just went to bed when I finished my dinner. Sunday morning now. I do have plans to go climbing this morning, which is not going to be included in my vlog. I just feel like I want to tell you about that so you know what's eating into my reading and writing time for the day. Writing, I probably won't get any writing done until this afternoon, but I am planning on reading some of One Italian Summer while I have my breakfast. So I'll probably check in with you again in like an hour-ish right before I leave to go climbing. And I apologize for the morning voice, by the way. It's bad this morning, but hopefully by the time I'm checking in again, that'll be gone. Alright y'all, so I'm just about to head out for the gym, but before I do, let me just fill you in a little bit. I am now just over 1/3 of the way through One Italian Summer. I got through 3 more chapters while I was eating my breakfast. And it's good, but it's not... There are some confusing aspects. For one thing, the relationship to food that this character seems to have is very confusing. It's back and forth is the thing. Like, on the one hand, her mom always cooked this amazing food and she grew up eating her mom's amazing cooking. But then on the other hand, she herself does not know how to cook and only eats takeout and microwave meals. It's like she wants to convince you that she knows what good food is, but she's also never had good food in her life. So there's that. Another thing is that I think I'm being queer baited. I think I'm being a little bit queer baited. There is a side character who has cropped up a couple of times in like blushy, flustery kind of scenarios, and I think I'm being queer baited. Like, there's definitely some queer coding happening, and I just don't think anything's gonna come of it, which is sad and unfortunate. And then again, with her lack of personality, which I'm starting to think might be the point, in which case, okay, so she has no personality, she goes to Italy, she gets a personality, but like, also she's really only interacting with like the 2 other Americans she's met, and that's unfortunate. So we're gonna see how this goes. You know, I was really into it when I first started, really pulling at my heartstrings, but now I'm gonna keep reading it, of course, and maybe it will surprise me later down the line, but for now I'm gonna go climbing, and it's about a 20-minute walk to my gym, 20 to 30-minute walk. So something that I've been doing lately that I've been really enjoying is there's a series of podcasts on Spotify called Coffee Break. This is not sponsored, by the way. I just really enjoy Coffee Break. It's a series of podcasts that's meant to help you learn a specific language. So lately I have been using the Coffee Break Italian series. I'm starting from the beginning, but I'm using it to get my Italian back, because even though I studied Italian all through high school, I would never call myself bilingual, and it's been years since I've used it anyway, so I am trying to get that language back a little bit, and I have found these podcasts really helpful, so I can link them below as well, just these little bite-sized lessons. So I'm gonna listen while I walk to and from the gym, and I will catch up with you all a little bit later. Hello from my mirror. As you can see, I'm home from the gym. Pop that out of my ear real quick. I am home from the gym now. I've actually been home for quite a while. I ended up rolling out the rest of my pasta dough to make more pasta tonight. And now I'm heading out again. I'm heading out to do some writing in my work in progress. Maybe some reading a little bit later, but it's already, it's gonna be 3:30 in the afternoon before I start actually writing. So we shall see what happens. But in the meantime, have the meantime. is Friday, and I am here to tell you with absolutely no shame or guilt whatsoever that I have decided to DNF One Italian Summer. This book pissed me off. So as a quick recap of where we were last time I checked in, this book is following Katie, whose mother has just passed away. And for Katie, that is like the end of the world, essentially. And so in order to get some closure and maybe a deeper connection to her mom, she decides to go on this trip that they had planned to take together to Positano. But when she gets to Italy, she actually, to her surprise, meets her mom. Carol is there, 30 years old, completely unaware that she's talking to her grown-up daughter. I was anticipating this book to have a lot of similar themes to my current work in progress. There's a mother-daughter dynamic, there's the Italian culture influence, also some magical realism, but I really do not feel that this book delivered on anything that I wanted and actually just ended up pissing me off. So for starters, when Katie leaves for Italy, she tells her husband, because she's married, I don't think I mentioned this before, she tells her husband, I don't know if I can be married to you anymore. And this is part of this whole identity crisis she's having without her mom, which is fine, totally fair, can like 100% see that being a thing. She gets to Italy and immediately dives into an affair. Not only does she dive into an affair, but she does so with the first American that she meets. And then continues to really only hang out with the two Americans. This guy she's having an affair with and her mom. The second issue I was having when we last checked in was the relationship she's building with her mom. Not as a mother-daughter dynamic, but as a friendship, as like sharing womanhood with her mom. Katie gives Carol absolutely no reason to want to be her friend, and so this relationship has no foundation. Katie is bland, she has no personality. There is no reason for Carol to continuously come back to trying to be Katie's friend, so it's very unrealistic, makes no sense. Third thing was the food, the relationship to food that Katie seems to have. On the one hand, she was raised by an amazing cook and she grew up eating fantastic homemade meals. On the other hand, she now as an adult only eats takeout and microwave meals and like compares everything to that high standard, which again makes no sense. You cannot convince me that you've never had good food before while also telling me that your mother was the best because she was an amazing cook. And the last thing I talked about in my last check-in was the queer baiting, and it's very subtle. Like I said, Katie is having an affair with a man, but there's a female character who just pops up from time to time in every single scenario. It's very flustery, it's very blushy, it's very surprised attraction, if you will, between these two women. The way that Katie describes this woman is, it's like surprised attraction. I don't know how else to describe it. And so to me, it felt like a subtle queer awakening moment that was never going to be followed through on, which was queer baiting. Now those were all of the issues I was having when I last checked in on Sunday. I did not pick up this book again until last night. I was busy, I had lots going on, and quite frankly, I just did not care. But I picked it up again last night, decided to skim through a few more chapters just to see, because I wanted to give this book the opportunity to redeem itself, and so I skimmed a little bit just to see if it would, and oh, it just made it so much worse. And this is where things are going to get a little bit spoilery, so I'll put timestamps and, you know, feel free to just jump around or click away. So after spending more time with the guy that she's having an affair with than she does with Carol, Katie eventually ends up going to Carol's for dinner, and she discovers that she herself, Katie, is already born at this time in Carol's life, which she did not know. She knew her mom had spent a summer in Italy. She was under the impression that that had happened before her parents met, and so before she was born. But now she's coming to learn that actually Katie was 6 months old when Carol was in Italy the first time, and she's very upset by this. Understandably so, you know, you discover that when you were a baby your mom just up and left you. That's upsetting. But she freaks out, she calls Carol a monster, and then leaves. The next day they reconcile, Carol goes off to this, the next day they meet up, they reconcile, and then Carol goes off to this meeting at a big fancy hotel to apply to basically redesign their entire interior. And this is a project of a lifetime, essentially, that would keep her in Italy for a good long while, and Katie decides it is her mission to make sure that Carol doesn't get this job and is forced to go home to her husband and baby. And that is where I stopped reading this. That is where I decided that this is just not it. This is not it for me. Throughout this entire narrative, it is crystal clear that Carol is completely devoted to serving the people in her life. So essentially her husband, her daughter, and her son-in-law. Everything she does is for them, in service of them and their own lifestyles and identities and egos. And whenever Carol, either Carol as Katie's mom or Carol at 30 as Katie's friend, starts to express individuality, that she is her own person and she has her own needs and wants, and who she is as a woman, Katie gets very upset about it. She does not like it when Carol has an identity outside of her. And that's just made extra special clear when she decides to crush Carol's dreams so that Carol is forced to go home to her. Katie's just a deeply selfish person throughout the whole book, and I really didn't want to continue reading this only to not see her develop from that point. And I mean, if the character hasn't even started to show that growth 2/3 of the way into the book, I doubt she's gonna make it that last 30%, so we're DNFing. So in terms of reading, unsuccessful, but in terms of writing, actually this was a very successful vlog. I made a lot of headway, not necessarily in terms of volume of writing, but I was able to get past a point in my narrative that I had been really stuck on for a while, so that was fantastic. Also, listen to a lot of Italian music. I have been working on my Italian language skills. I made fresh pasta. I never do that. And so that was a really lovely experience. Had a pastry, treated myself to a little pistachio pastry, and I enjoyed the sun. And you know what? Hopefully, sometime over the course of the next few months, I will actually be able to take myself to Italy. But for now, I have been able to bring a taste of Italy to my life in Glasgow, and it's been really lovely. So thank you so much for joining me this weekend. Thank you so much for joining me on this vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell to get notified when I post new videos. I love you guys so much, and until next time, peace out, Brussels sprouts.